Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Alrighty, today I wanted to touch base on a few topics, and you could always follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Okay, before I get into my topic of sports cards bidding wars and bidding on other items on eBay, such as these Funko Pops, I wanted to focus maybe a few minutes on my topic last night, and I just wanted to clarify a few things. I saw some comments. I didn't respond to any. Sometimes it's just better if I do a video response, and it's just going to be short and brief. Number one, my title yesterday, it wasn't meant to be as clickbait. Secondly, uh, I did realize that the topic may be going in the boundaries of a political arena, but at the same time, the sports market, not the sports market, but the sports world is going to become a little more political than where I want it to be. And I'm not talking about last year, I'm just talking about new topics in the political arena. And that is regarding this, what I call the jabba dabba ding dong. I say it like that because of big tech censorship. And I need to, say the right things so I don't get dinged for that. Now, in regards to this, if certain cities have rules and regulations about this, and a player can't perform, such as Kyrie Irving or Andrew Wiggins, and now this channel focuses on a lot of things, and one of it focuses on sports cards. So if you are investing a huge chunk of money in sports cards and you know a player didn't take it and you've thrown down thousands and thousands of dollars, especially towards a peak, like I mentioned yesterday, some guy threw $22,000 on Kyrie Irving and they didn't make the finals. So that, number one, was a big mistake by that guy. But secondly, he may not even be playing half of the games this year. And I don't think Kyrie Irving is going to change his mind. Kyrie Irving believes in things that people think that are crazy. And he's very adamant about his views. Now, what does this have to do with the rest of sports? It's just maybe a warning, maybe not for this year, but for the future. I'll give you one example and then I'll get into the topic. For instance, if you look in Buffalo, you got to take it in order to go to the stadium outside, not inside, outside. For now, they're allowing players like Cole Beasley to play. There are a few others as well. And my question is, did Josh Allen take it? I don't know. Did on other teams, we have to look at Lamar Jackson probably didn't take it. And what I'm saying is, they're in cities that are a little more stricter than maybe Orlando, for instance. If you're in Orlando, you can't, you could get away with stuff down there. And places like Buffalo, they're strict. And maybe Baltimore is going to be next. And if you're throwing down thousands and thousands of dollars in players that didn't take it, technically, and they're young and they have many years ahead of them, technically you may be putting on more risk than you otherwise think you are. The risk for investing in a young player is obviously injury, and I mentioned the Derrick Rose factor. And he's no longer the MVP type caliber player. He's decent, there's no doubt about that, but at the same time, he's not what he used to be. And that's on the injury front. But put away the injury risk. What about if the city goes and introduces new laws like they have in Oakland, or not Oakland, but San Francisco, but they're not doing for indoors, but they're doing for outdoors as well, for a capacity of more than 1,000 people. I'm just throwing this out there. So that's one risk you guys probably need to look into if you're throwing a lot of money. If you're throwing maybe $100 in a card, that's not that much money for most people. But thousands of dollars, that's a lot of money for most people here. So that's all I wanted to say. That was the main point of that video. And yeah, I did cross into the political arena, but at the same time, I believe that it's really important for the sports card market in the coming year or years if this policy continues around cities throughout America. All right, now into the topic I wanted to get into, and it's regarding eBay. And here's the thing: a lot of us buy our sports cards on eBay, and I've told you that my wife, she runs an eBay store, and I help out. And sometimes we do bids on eBay for some of the sports cards we have, and also Funko Pops like these. And I have a general idea of where an item should sell once we post it. Sometimes it undersells. Sometimes we're shocked. We're seeing an item that may sell for $7, $8 or $7 to $10. And then it all of a sudden shoots up to $15. And I'm like, okay, this is what? Let me do the math. Like at least 1.5 times more than what I thought it would sell for. And now $15 isn't a lot, but the same concept could be applied to sports cards. But I want to tell you the story. So last week we sold a Georgia Bulldogs piece, a hairy dog piece, and I was expecting somewhere between, like I said, $7 to $10, and it sold for $15. And I was like, I asked my wife, how did this sell for $15? I mean, don't people look at the pricing before they bid? And what she said is, based on her experience, she has a lot more years dealing with eBay than I do. And she said sometimes because of the thrill and maybe there was a Georgia game going on, someone wanted to artificially pay a higher price because it's a great feeling when you win. And because of that, the price of items goes higher. And a lot of people say that, in some of these auctions, there's shill bidding. There's definitely shill bidding. There could be shill bidding, as these individuals say, on some of these auctions. But is it as rampant as what people are saying? That I don't know because I don't have the data behind that. So I can't certainly say that. But when you have many individuals and the psychology is, I want that card at all costs, that means that people may just bid 1.5 times more than what the card value is or this Funko Pop is. And I saw this with other Funko Pop sales as well, and some Russell Wilson cards that I sold as well lately. And the thing is, some people may not know the comps. And if they're new individuals, and there's always new people coming into the sports card arena. So suppose the card goes for $1,000, but someone doesn't know the comps. It could go for $1,050. $150 more than what otherwise you would pay for it. And it's quite unfortunate that people don't look at the comps because that's the market value of the card. Sometimes you may see a card that looks better than the grade. So, for instance, you have a PSA 9 card. Sometimes people may just pay a premium because it doesn't look like a PSA 9. Maybe it looks like a PSA 10 to them, and that's why they put the extra premium. That may logically make sense. But if it's an ordinary card, that doesn't make sense to artificially pay higher. So, based on our selling experience, I think the best way forward is take a step back when you look at these bids, especially if it's a card that you can acquire. What you guys should probably do is look at individuals that have multiple cards and they accept offers. And if they don't accept offers, sometimes you could send them a message saying, hey, I can make you an offer on this. Try to negotiate. And sometimes the dealers, they may not want to deal with that. I remember this was in early 2020 before the pandemic. I used to see an individual, they used to put a Tom Brady PSA 5 card. They started at $50. And I told them that, hey, guess what? I'll pay you $100 now and you don't have to deal with it. And I got the card. I think I sold that card for maybe a few $100. I should have maybe kept that card because I didn't realize he'd win a seventh title. But sometimes just messaging the individual, you could get a great deal without dealing with the headache of trying to outbid another individual. Secondly, as someone who owns a business, we like cash flow. We like cash coming in. And sometimes if someone says, hey, I want to buy X, Y, and Z, and we're like, okay, and then they say, we'll buy it at maybe $100 or whatever it is. And then we're like, okay, that's a good deal. Okay, technically, we may see it as, not a win or a loss. We're just getting money in the door just to pay some of the bills for the business. And that's what some of these businesses may do is if you see one of the cards and it's not as a bid and you see it as a buy it now and you see multiple cards that they have and they're a business, you could message them as long as they're not one of the auction houses out there, like the big ones, like the Probstein, Four Sharp Corners. You could just tell them that, hey, I want to buy cards X, Y, and Z. Here's what I'm going to offer you. It's still a competitive offer, but at the end of the day, you're basically telling them, hey, you're getting this money up front. You don't have to worry about cash flow. You don't have to worry about keeping this excess inventory on hand. Sometimes these guys are going to say nope, and then sometimes they may say yeah. And if we get an offer that's appropriate, we'll take it. Sometimes less than what we're doing as a buy it now. Sometimes the deals are not advertised, and sometimes you got to make your own deals. And getting in the trap of bids, sometimes you'll be overpaying for these cards. Now, I understand if it's a one out of one card and it's scarce and it's really hard to find, those cards, yeah, people are going to outbid each other. You can't negotiate on that. But if it's somewhat of a common card, just be patient. You don't need to go into that bid. You could just send these eBay guys offers and buy multiple cards from them. If you see cards that are on discount, that's what I would do. And that's probably going to be my strategy. Not right now, as I've told you, I'm probably going to be doing that in the next few years and trying to make offers that way. And I think that's the most strategic way of doing it because, once again, when you're bidding, there's two risks. And yeah, I did say that not every time there's shield bidding, but there is shield bidding sometimes there. So you run the risk of that. But then also, you also run the risk of someone really and they are enthusiastic about, I don't know, something like this. And they just bid up way more than they should. And they're happy to pay for it because they won and their team won. Okay. Because I remember we sold this on a Saturday, so I'm pretty sure Georgia played that day. So it's just basic things like that in terms of bidding against each other. It's technically more psychological. And if it's a piece that you could wait on and you don't need to give as a gift, just be patient. Patience is a virtue, and sometimes waiting over a few months right now, you could get a huge discount. I should have done that when I bought my Fortnite box. I could have saved $300 on that box if I just were a little patient. And I've made mistakes during this bull market. And most of the times, I've hit home runs, I've hit grand slams. But there are times where I struck out badly. And sometimes just be patient. And patience is a virtue. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.